my goodness gracious, we have an episode for you and you have tuned in at a good time because we have probably the most improved player in the AFL, definitely the Gold Coast Suns. Will the Gold Coast Suns finally play finals in their short history in the AFL? And will I be getting a tattoo on my butt cheek of that? And you know how we do it here down at the Rip Through podcast. I have a gift for you because you came through and watched this. I have a signed Ben Long 2025 Gold Coast Suns Guernsey. Look at that. I'm gonna come look at this. All you gotta do is comment your favourite Ben Long moment in his career and especially the Suns. And I'll be choosing the winner on the 3rd of June. So get commenting. Good luck. Enjoy the episode. If you're still here, make sure you like and subscribe. Oh, it's a doozy. It's good. I love this guy. He's so handsome. All right, my people. Welcome back to another episode of Rip Through a Podcast. Reese, you wouldn't believe it, but we've got someone on today. He hasn't responded to my messages for about probably 3 years, I reckon. I was down St.Kilda Beach and with one of his ex-teammates and we had a big wrestle on the mountain there and I end up like embarrassing him a little bit. So This is the first time I've spoken to him since then, so I'm actually excited back in this.
Well, I actually haven't spoke to him since a hell of a trip in America, so...
Oh my...
It's been that long.
I forgot he was there. You were there. You were never meant to be. This guy wasn't even meant to be on our trip.
No, but he was there.
He just locked in with us.
Yeah.
+1.
Which made it all the better.
I didn't even think of that. But before I pan the camera over to him with my editing skills, let's do the rundown of who it is. So he just actually recently got put into the top 10 AFL players in the competition, voted by who?
Definitely the most improved player in the AFL this year, without a doubt.
I'm not biased, but I do fucking love this bloke. His name is Ben Long. He was drafted with pick 25 in 2016, 79 games and 31 goals for the Saints. 40 games and 45 goals with the Gold Coast Suns, 119 games in total, 76 goals. Rising Star nomination, so you got that over me. Good job. His debut, 14 points win over the Pies round 4. This is Ben Long.
The line graph since the Gold Coast Suns is just climbing. Everyone get your stocks in this man. Mate, it's humming at the moment.
How you feeling, my guy?
Yeah, nah. Thanks for having me on. Feeling good.
Yeah, you look good. I'm not even saying that. Like your kit from Darwin to here, it changes dramatically.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what's going on, man? Obviously, you've ventured up to the Suns. You've been here for a couple of years now. The boys are playing some bloody good footy. Like, I felt like it was going to be on the horizon sooner or later. You guys are going to make finals. Now, we're not going to say, oh, they're definitely making finals. But if you're not an idiot, you're probably going to.
Well, you'll be getting a tattoo very, very soon.
I'll be getting a tattoo. And I'm going to be getting Ben Long's signature if they make the finals and win a final. I'll get his signature next to the Suns tattoo on my arse cheek, next to yours.
They have to win it for his name to get on there?
They have to win a final.
Okay, there you go, Longy.
So getting there is Gold Coast Suns. Your signature if you win a final.
So what is going on at the Suns at the moment?
Nah, yeah. We're obviously tracking really along, going well. Obviously the Suns haven't really made finals never actually. So, it's an obvious that we were striving for finals, but, really starting to click and, start the year off well and just got to keep doing what we're doing.
Have you thought you could be a part of history at all? Being, you'll be one of the first players at the Suns to make the finals in that group. Is that something you and the boys think about or not really?
I sort of haven't really thought about it, but, it's in the background when you really think about it of like the success of the Gold Coast Suns and, taking the club to the next step, which is where we want to be come finals and obviously ultimately to win a premiership. So
have you played finals?
I've played one final at St. Kilda, yeah.
When?
The COVID year. We beat the Dogs.
Oh, shit.
Then I got rubbed out, yeah.
You got rubbed out?
Yeah, I got rubbed out.
What'd you do? Just be a Ben Long?
Just being Mitch Robertson hitting the crow.
Yeah.
There is a bit of Mitch Robbo about him.
No, I actually before I met him ages ago. Before I met him, I was like, fuck, I actually like the way that
Yeah, it was tough. It was hard.
Everyone back in his hometown, they're all scared of him.
There's not many of them left.
Nah.
It's a dying breed right now, I reckon.
What's that, tough guys?
Yeah.
Well,
the game shapes it that way, but...
Yeah, let's ask him. What do you reckon about the game at the moment? Like, as a player, it's always in the media about how the umpiring is going at the moment. Now, you don't have to have a say because you're still playing, so we don't want you to get in trouble if Dimmer sees this. What's the state of the game like, and especially how have you adapted to what it is like now compared to when you started? Yeah,
it's obviously changed. They're being more, I guess, diligent on the tackling and the bumping stuff. So, yeah, any obviously impact on a player, you sort of get in trouble straight away.
Anything above the shoulders, brother.
Anything above the shoulders. So, if they're not getting up straight away, I think you're in strife.
Have you had to change the way you play and adapt, do you feel?
Yeah, I guess along the way I've had learnt my lessons. But I try not to bump these days and be more a tackling player, I guess, but not that I'm saying I'm a dirty player.
No, but it's funny you say that because you don't get a stat for bumping, but it feels good when you shit mix someone.
Yeah,
but a tackle's right there. But I'm saying like
It's a big statement though. A bump.
it can set the team up.
It can set your whole team up.
Ben Long runs off the forward line now and fucking boss. See you later, Bradley Hill off the wing, man. And
We
cop
don't get many of that, much of that these days.
No.
So.
Now I want to before we jump into other shit, I want to ask you about obviously your time at St Kilda. You were there for 6 years or something like that. Why the change and how flattening for them because you absolutely dominate in your last game for him. You had let me just read out your stats for that game. 27 disposals, 17 marks, 13 intercepts, what the hell, and 1 snaggeroony on your 25th birthday.
And then a whole night out, I would say.
And then a whole night? That was probably oh no. You
probably off to America with us.
Yeah, next couple of weeks, yeah.
Run us through decisions around that, and was the writing on the wall early days that year, or was it like, hey, manager hit me up and he's gone, hey, we've got Gold Coast who are pretty keen on you, brother.
Yeah, no, obviously, very grateful for my time at the Saints, and I've obviously learned all my lessons along the way, and they're a great footy club. Met some great people, and still connected with the players there, and even the past players. But I guess it sort of come late, probably in my last season. Opportunity arose for to maybe start somewhere fresh, and I guess it's a bit of the on-field stuff where I was getting switched back and forward, but
thrown around,
thrown around a little bit. But I guess it was more the opportunity and the ability to get out of Victoria and start somewhere fresh, and I guess a new opportunity at the Suns.
I guess people don't realise you went to Melbourne when you were 16.
Yeah, I went down there 16 into boarding school, spent 3
private
years there.
Bitch.
So big private school boy.
Where from?
Yeah, from D-Town.
D-Town, so.
But he went there and you got a scholarship at Melbourne Grammar, which is prestigious. All the big names went there, bro.
Yeah, all the big names. So.
How was that then?
Yeah, it was obviously different. Obviously an eye-opener for me, coming down to Victoria, different weather, different lifestyle. But I was able to, make friends early. I had a few cousins here, so that was probably the reason they kept me down at school. So
who was it? You had Cyril. You had
Anthony.
He was at Essendon, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there at Essendon. Had my Jake, cousin Jake,
basketballing legend.
Yep.
How many premierships has he won in Darwin?
No, that might have been Jack.
No,
Jack.
One plays in St Mary's as well and plays basketball.
Oh, Jacob. That was Jacob.
Jacob.
He's the younger one.
I was trying to give him a shout out, but fucking he doesn't want to.
Nah, he's going well. But yeah, had a few cousins there, so
I'm trying to think I've lived in Darwin for 5 months and I've travelled there since I was 18, 19.
Yeah.
That lifestyle is complete different to what Melbourne is. I want to understand what's your mentality going down there. Now I know I watched a chat recently. You had a meeting with your mum and your dad, and then it was a sports teacher or academy or whatever it was. You had the opportunity to go down to Melbourne, go to a really, really nice school and learn some shit. Making that decision, I want to be AFL players, go down there and get noticed?
No, it was more, obviously it was an education more than a sports scholarship. So I guess it was more just the opportunity to go down, and mum's just you're going, just try it out,
She told you didn't get it. You said on that podcast that you had a say in it. You didn't have a say.
Yeah, not really.
You got moved out,
really, yeah.
We've all been there.
Just got sent away.
Yeah. We've got too many kids. Get out of here.
Yeah, get, you're gone. But it was obviously, as a young kid, you don't really know. You just sort of go with the flow of things, and I'm just glad I stuck it out.
Yeah, that's mad.
So would you tell Ben Long, knowing what you know now, that you would definitely go?
Yeah, definitely.
And has it set you up for where you are now?
Yeah, I think it's going down there. It's learnt to become responsible for myself, and learned a lot, living away, all those life skills, which is important.
Now,
just the last thing, touching on St Kilda. I love asking this to players. To be a light-hearted question, but if you could have one teammate from St Kilda come and join you at the Suns, who would it be?
Oh, that's a hard question. Oh, I gotta love my boy Bradley Hill.
Oh, It's funny you say that name, mate.
Wouldn't be too bad on the Suns either.
It's funny you say that, mate, because he sent a message in. He sent me a video into you.
Here we go.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Good to see you running amok this year. In career best form. All Australian with this bloke here.
Oh shit.
Now he also told me to ask you, what does ping pong mean? Ping pong long.
Oh no.
Yeah, what's ping pong long?
Balls are not going where they should they?
Little story.
The
I
balls
guess.
are going where they should.
I before I went to boarding school, I was I did, other than playing footy, did a little bit of rugby and
Brothers?
boxing. Nah, rugby union.
Yeah, brothers.
Cougars.
Yeah, but the
Cougars.
brothers are best in the comp, bro.
For NRL, yeah.
Well, who does Nicky Aaron play for?
Brothers.
Anyway, keep going.
Did other sports outside of footy, and I was riding back home from I think it might have been rugby or whatever, and I passed Marara Stadium. I seen this door, and I just stopped by. It was like late afternoon, 5 or 6. I went in there, and people were just playing table tennis. And I was playing for like 3-4 hours.
It's 9 o'clock.
And it got to like 9 or 10 o'clock. And I'm like, the time just flew by. And then my parents were like, obviously worried about me. Where the fuck are you? And I'm riding from like TIO all the way to Nightcliff. So it's a fair ride at night. It's a fair ride.
Massive ride.
And, they come fucking coming after me, So my uncle like picked me up. So it was like 9, 10 o'clock. No, where the bloody hell are you? So, and then from there on, I just like started playing table tennis with this fella, and we're just playing each week now, and I got like pretty good. So, it was just like funny story.
That's an epic story.
Yeah, would you claim to be the best ping pong player in AFL?
Oh, I'd say I'm up there. I reckon.
Oh, big.
Who's good at lines? Zorko?
Zorks is very good. He's always good at that stuff.
He's good at everything, but that is crazy.
It'd be tough.
Zork probably didn't do what he was doing. So.
Do you realise, like, he would have been classed as a massive nerd doing that, especially in Darwin. And at TIO, you don't just go breaking into TIO. You got to get in there pretty. Yeah, it's not easy. That's crazy. You rode to Nightcliff too, no? Like people don't probably know where the fuck that is, but that's a big ass ride.
Were you grounded?
No, when they found out what I was doing, they were just like, "Oh, fuck, what are you doing?"
They were like, "What were you really doing, mate? What were you really doing out there drinking goon bags or some shit?" Little fuck.
That's a great story.
Funny. That's mad. So you obviously. It's your career best year. Do you reckon it's career best year so far?
Yeah, probably got to say, yeah.
Yeah. What's the change in that? Because fresh starts of players are amazing. I went from the Blues to Brisbane. I had a chip on my shoulder. I wanted to play really well. You changed some certain things in your life. What's the difference this year compared to last year? Like Damien Hardwick, like do we say it's all on him, or is it what you've done behind the scenes and no one knows?
Yeah, I reckon it's a bit of the lessons I've learned along the way, coming from St.Kilda to the Suns. I guess last year I didn't play the first few games, and I had to earn my spot, and I was like,
"That's not been long, baby."
Yeah, obviously, built some form in the VFL and got my opportunity, and stayed ever since. So I think it's just a bit of that drive inside of me to, play at the top level, but not just play at the top level, like really perform well. But yeah, I guess it's a bit of the aspect of the coaches and the players around me that have an impact on me. Obviously, Dimmer's come in second year, brought a new system, and boys are really buying into that. So, things are really starting to click, and I guess sort of the role I'm playing, and I'm enjoying myself down there. So, yeah.
You kicked 20 goals this year, which is pretty damn good already. Like, let's be honest, that's fucking really good. Doesn't matter how many bags you kick in, that's really good. Have you played forward a little bit every now and then at the Saints, but you're the majority of a backman? Did he come in and be like, hey, did you have a chat to him before he got here? You're in the VFL, so you would have played a few games as a forward there. Yep. You showed some, I can do this.
Yep.
What was that chat like? Like, hey, we got backs galore, fit into the team.
Yeah. I guess it wasn't really an in-depth conversation. I think it was more like he wants me to play forward, and, for me, I'm just more open to wherever you want me, I'll play, So, I think I brought a good attitude to that, and, things just flowed from there.
That's it.
But we always say that, we'll play where you want. But at some point, did you say, no, I need to make this my position? Did you finally say, look, I've got to pick a position?
Yeah, I guess it was more when I got traded, and I was had Dewey in my first season at the Suns, and I was traded as a backman. So I was all locked in as a back, and obviously playing high half back or deep wherever. But yeah, obviously when Dewey went and Dimmer come along, I guess when new coaches come along, it's a fresh start, and you don't know where everyone sits. Everyone's at the same level, So you got to obviously prove yourself and fight for your spot. And I guess with the conversation, they said he wanted me to play forward, and like I said before, it just flowed from there.
Yeah, you love that because like Matho, we've both been through that shit. Like you're in and out of the team. Look, it was only happened to me in my last year because I was getting old. That's my excuse. But the mood and the mentality of like, okay, like instead of being a sad sack and crying around about it, like actually putting your head down, bum up. Has that been something that you're trying to pass on to some younger blokes in the VFL? Like you're a senior player now. How old are you? 27?
27.
Yeah, you're just like you're getting on.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're like starting to take on now, more of a leadership role, or how's that look? Or are you just worrying about your own backyard?
Nah, I guess it's more, obviously in the forward line, taking care of our line group and the boys coming through, and like we got some great young talent coming through.
Hell yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's bloody awesome. I guess it's just more making sure they're going well, but just being able to adapt at whatever circumstances that comes in front of them. Because I think I've learnt most blokes that getting older in the game that things aren't just going to go your way.
And you want fucking success now. Like it's early days, you want to get games and play well. Now it's like when you get back and you're like, fuck, wouldn't mind getting this team to the finals and one day holding that cup up.
So what is the role for you down there? Because when I watch on TV and in the past, I've probably looked at you as, he's down the forward line as a defender in a way, like put pressure forward, on, defensive forward, do the nitty-gritty stuff. Doesn't always get the limelight, might get a tackle, leads to a goal. But now we're actually seeing you kick goals, take speckies, do all this stuff, getting the reward. So what is the role for you down there? Is it that, and you've just built your game off that, or is it a bit more than that now?
I guess regardless, like every week, bring the gritty stuff, the tackling, the pressure, and I think it's a big part of my game. But
it's in your DNA, bro.
Yeah, I guess the role down there is a bit of a deeper role, and playing beside the likes of Kingy, Benny King, Ethan Reid, Jed Walter, the big guys. So just being able to work around them, as even the crumbing and bringing the pressure. But I guess my game, I feel like I can play tall and small.
For sure, as we've seen.
He's only 6 foot, but you do play tall.
Yeah, he plays very tall.
I feel like I can, bring that out in my game. So, which I think hopefully defenders are worried about in that.
They definitely are. I wouldn't be shitting my pants. I'd be like, fuck, this is gonna be a good battle.
I think it's a luxury for him. Hopefully, don't pump him up too much. Where
he won't be able to get out of the fucking studio after this. Be like, oh, can I come on next week, boys?
With Kingy and Jed getting those sort of tall defenders, he's a hard matchup. And because he can play above his head, but he's also so good on ground. So
Nick Holman's tall as shit, but he can't fucking take a mark.
So I think it's going to get harder for Longy. In my opinion, he's going to get a bit more work put into him because of how dangerous he can be above his head and that. But
well, good luck to him, mate.
Good luck to him.
Good luck to him.
So
hopefully you don't play shit for us either. It'd be fucking bad.
You might jinx it.
So obviously, like past 2 weeks, last week and coming up this weekend, I don't know when I'm going to put this out. It's been Indigenous round. Now, it's been pretty good for you boys going to Darwin. What's it like going back home? Obviously, to your hometown is great regardless, but for Indigenous round and getting a win, like a pretty good win, what was it like for you and your family? I know you got like millions of cousins and nieces and nephews and all that. It's a big family over there. What was that like getting back and playing?
Yeah, it was obviously awesome feeling. Always good getting back home to Darwin. Obviously it's a look forward to in the calendar throughout the year. But obviously play up there in front of friends and family is special, and obviously 2 good teams and really 2 close games. So, but I guess more the running out and seeing the Darwin community supporting the game. And
does it go off? Is it like pretty loud there? Because I've been to NTFL grand finals and shit, but like, is it?
It got pretty loud, I guess, like in the back end of the game where it was quite tight. So
both games,
you could hear the crowd for sure.
Yeah.
But no, special feeling, and I think Darwin does it good. So hopefully you keep it going.
They do. I got a quick one for you then on that. We'll stay on Darwin for a little bit. Do you reckon that NT will ever get an AFL team? And how flat were you when Tassie's got one? Fuck yeah, Tassie.
Nah, I don't know. I feel like they will, but obviously, they had Tassie in their sights earlier. But yeah, hopefully who knows, next few years they can do a team up there. It'd be pretty good.
Now, what would you call the team?
St. Mary's, no.
Fuck. No, brother. Buffaloes.
No. The Buffaloes.
They'd have to be the Thunder, wouldn't they? NT's always the Thunder,
that is actually
aren't they?
They have been Thunder, in the past when the Neefles.
When they've had their Neefle teams.
Yeah.
How come you boys do so good in Darwin? Like, I says...
Yeah, why is it?
I haven't seen a proper answer. It's like, it's a home away from home.
What is with Gold Coast and Darwin?
I said to you, it's because they got so many Indigenous boys in their team, so they just rock up and they play great footy. You got Mally, you got Joel Jeffy, you got Daniel.
Yeah.
Probably a couple others in there, I don't know. But
that's 7 on the trot, like
how?
against
Why?
quality teams.
Why? Don't give me some
No.
bullshit answer. Why? Why you guys play good there? Is it because the ball's slippery, the greasy? You guys like like in Queensland, we train that shit all year.
Oh, it'd definitely be the weather, but I think it's more I feel like every time we go back home and play, it's like playing like I played in NTFL.
Yeah,
a bit of that down, free flowing footy, and you know, obviously I think we're a quick side, so I think we just like sort of just flowed from there. But I feel like it's just down. Once you go to play back in Darwin, I felt it was like I was playing back in NTFL.
The shackles were off. I'm gonna run a mark.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've been there this time of year.
Dimmer needs to get onto the AFL and get these boys a final there. So Longy will get the tattoo, but if they get the final there, you nearly mark them in the books as a home game.
I might come up and go fishing and stuff. No, but I honestly feel like, because I haven't played there like in this time of year, is it still same conditions like as a wet season or
no? It's still like obviously, you know,
slippery,
slippery and hot, but the weather's really nice. It's like dropping in the dry season, so it was like our winter.
Does it catch teams off guard then, you reckon? Like, they come up thinking like, okay, yeah, we know it's going to be like this, but they don't adapt to it.
Well, I think most teams that they've come up, they've tried to train in the afternoon to adapt a little bit, but you know, come to game day, it's obviously
it's not like that. It's not like that. Cram. Did you get the cold room? Where did the home team go? Were you in the Michael Long?
We were in the centre, but we used the cold centre. The cold room on the right near the centre. So
I remember going in there dying.
Every quarter time we're in there for like, I don't know, 3 minutes and then straight back out.
What the fuck was Took's dad? How do you say his name? Took or Took?
Took.
What the fuck was Took's dad doing, giving that pump up, and would you get him back for another game? Were you there when he did it?
Yeah.
Was it out of the? Did you see it, Mather?
Yeah, I seen it.
Was it out of the blue? Just rocked up
like out of captain's run. Because obviously Took's 200.
Yeah.
His dad's awesome, and he just like. Yeah, I think it was just all random. He just gave us a pump-up speech, and we bloody loved it. It was like
Does his dad live overseas?
Nah, I think he lives on the coast.
He's on the coast? Yep. Okay.
It was the funniest thing I've actually seen. Like.
Yeah, it was very funny. And the fact that Gold Coast posted it was even funnier.
Is he American or American?
Yeah.
Man, it's like the most American bloody pump-up speech I've ever heard in my life.
Nah, it was awesome.
All-Stars game. So that's obviously a big feather in the hat, like being able to play in that. What was it like? Do you think it should like obviously be an annual thing, like once a year, or... Yeah. I actually don't mind the theory that it should be thrown to the
in the
Origin type games. What was that playing that like in getting the win?
Yeah, it was obviously privilege to be picked and get to play in that game. And it's obviously all us brothers and sisters coming together, and obviously more the aspect of the game. But I remember doing our captain's run or whatever, and we just seen a lot of all the indigenous people. At the stadium, I hadn't seen so many there before, and it just shows how much we mean to the people in the community, and especially young kids coming through. And I guess there was obviously a talk about there was a bit of percentage dropping of indigenous players in the game, and I guess it's more that's the benchmark of like having that game annually and every year, and I'm all for it. And to even have it in the Origin, I think it'd be pretty cool.
I reckon that'd be sick to have it.
See, I didn't know that about that, with the drop off and how serious they take it, because when you sort of around my friend group and whatever, it's they're playing Fremantle, they say the Dockers don't care, it's a pre-season game, whatever. But obviously to you guys, it's a very important thing, not just the game, it is for your whole community and stuff. Is that why? Yeah,
I think it's a massive why, and I guess it's more to see us players all come together. But for young kids to see, to have someone to look up to as a role model, I think it's important. That's awesome that people like that just don't see it as a throwaway game, and it actually means something to AFL players and these people. So you could tell after the game, couldn't you? So
I haven't had that feeling. Awesome. Like the only time I've had that feeling is like when you play like rep teams when you're younger and shit, and playing against teams, smashing them and stuff. But like, I haven't had like the role model. I've never really had the role model feeling other than like to my kids.
Of course.
So is there any pressure that comes along with that? Like obviously not to fuck up off field or making sure you're doing the right things. Like there's a stigma around like being a role model. But
yeah, definitely. I think it's when we come together. I think it's more if we do fuck up, it won't that game won't be going on. So but yeah, everyone, it was awesome weekend, and hopefully do it again.
So how do the brother boys think they'd shape up against the other Origin teams like the Vics?
Yeah.
Surely there's had to be some chat around, like boys would be,
we'd probably say we'd give them a good go, I reckon.
I reckon, like, did I say that the VFL state team, like the
Yeah. You said the best VFL, like
the best country Resi players could compete.
Could compete, but there's no chance.
Yeah, after watching that game, I was like, that's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever said.
Yeah.
That's a Sam McClure type shit.
We really had no game plan. It was just like we're just kicking everywhere, and then we'd like balls out, and we look behind us. There's no one there. Like Stephen Majors is at the back.
Yeah.
What by himself? Like, hey, is anyone actually going to play defence? Because we had a look at when the team got announced. We had a look at the forward line. The tallest player was probably like 180 or something.
Yeah. Even like the ruck, like you know, like
who was ruck?
Jeremy Finlayson was, and
well, he's not actually.
And then
pretty tall.
Jolly Jeffrey went in there in the last.
Yeah,
time, I think.
But he can play ruck, that little freak. He's actually not too bad.
But you handled it pretty well, and it was pretty awesome to see.
Now, obviously, your last name's Long. It's probably one of the, and you're a Long Rioli, right? Like you're not hyphenated, but like that's like family member,
family
like
connection there.
Yeah. Who has, in your eyes, I'll start as a junior, like growing up, who were you watching? Obviously, your dad and your uncle played, like they're bloody NT legends playing the game.
Yep.
Who was like someone you were idolising growing up? Like Cyril was obviously at Hawthorn. You had, I don't know if it was your brother or your cousin that was at Essendon.
Yep.
Who was someone that you like based your game off or just like loved watching?
Yeah, I guess the main one was Cyril. Coming up as a teenager, and he was obviously at the Hawks and doing his thing there. He was a massive role model for me and someone I looked up to. And even when I went down to boarding school, he was there. So it was, some weekends I'd go out and
to Glen Waverley and
hang
his
out
house
and stuff. And so, but yeah, he'd be the main one. But I guess, there was my uncle and my dad. But even my cousin like Jack and Anthony, growing up, kicking the footies together and a bit of backyard footy, which brings out the competitiveness in that aspect. But yeah, there was a few.
Who's the best? Like, it's hard because Cyril's he's got 4 under his bloody belt.
Yeah.
Who's the best in the family? Like out of your family, you can't say like, hey, Dad, is it Jack? Your dad?
Nah, Chris.
You're probably the best spear fisherman in Darwin, but like, who's the best footy player?
Who's the best
in the whole
player?
Family? In your like cousins, second cousins, whatever it may be.
Oh,
he's making a pretty good case for himself.
But well, he can get there. He's only played 100 and some games, but.
Oh, I'd definitely be Cyril, but I guess it'd be one of the cousins that had the skills to do it. But my cousin Jack. He could have
was one of those guys.
Yeah,
because we go play up in Darwin and we're like, these little fucks, they're so good, man. Like, funny they had like straight and narrow life, or they had like the opportunity up there. Yeah. Freaky.
Who is this guy? I've never heard of him. And he's dominating and
it's
touching. It's
scary though. Some of the blokes from TV on, like the way they run around.
For yourself, Longy, what do you do outside of footy? We heard like Nick Watson say he plays Fortnite for 6 hours before a game or anything like that. What's your escape from footy? If there is, it might just be all footy. I know some people like that, but for you, I assume there might be something else.
Yeah, when I first got up here, I got back into golf.
Hey,
I did not see that one coming at all.
What's your handicap?
No, I haven't put my handicap in, but I'd be like low 20s for sure.
Fuck off. You're a cheat, mate. If you don't put your handicap in, it means you have a foot wedge in your bag.
Yeah.
But no, I sort of got back into golf for a bit, joined along with a lot of the boys. Dropped off, but I don't mind, obviously, me fishing out here. Daniel Rioli's got traded, and I think he's fishing every day, to be honest.
Did you have a hand in his trade, or you just like, hey, come up here, kid?
No, I gave him a buzz, and I was like, you really coming or what? Yeah, and he's like,
done deal. Dimmer's got me on that money.
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah.
That's your nephew.
Yeah, nephew.
Like, it's in culture, like it's, what is he, actual cousin, or is he nephew?
No, like, for respect, I'd call him nephew.
Yeah.
But we,
So he has to call you uncle.
The same age.
He has to call you uncle, not because you're older, because I'm your fucking uncle.
Respect
Daniel! Nephew, little shit.
Yeah, you can't keep throwing the uncle around.
Yeah. Oh, no. I throw, like, uncle, go.
Too bad.
But yeah, a bit of golf and...
he's fishing all the time, though. And
he's fishing every
making
day.
YouTube stuff now.
You're out with him fishing? You boys are teaming up or what?
We fished, I think, twice together so far, but...
Talabudra or something.
Talabudra, down there. But yeah, need to get a bloody boat license. Dave's got a dinghy, so
I've got a boat license.
Try to take it out.
Oh, because Darwin don't need a boat license.
Yeah. So
right, do you know this? So you can get absolutely blind on the boat, drive around with no license, but as soon as you get back in, you can't
You can't get in the car.
Of course you can't get in the car.
Yeah.
But like you can't like be on the boat or anything near the boat, like. So you can like raft. What's that day on the sandbar?
Oh, like the sandbar parties.
Yeah, sandbar parties and shit. Yeah. Like you can be as blind as you want, no license, driving the boat around Darwin.
Yeah,
but I've got a license, man. If you ever need to go fishing,
Sweet,
why don't you have a fucking license?
I don't know. I just
don't need one.
I feel like I just don't need one, but I get in trouble now.
Who's the best fisherman out of you and Daniel then? Like you're okay. For people at home who don't know this, this man's actually like, and I hate to say it,
Instagram posts.
He's one of the best spear fishermen probably in Darwin. Like I think your dad's the best. Or you better than him now?
No, one of the other brothers maybe.
Who that?
Uncle P or Uncle Noel.
Yeah, like I've watched him, man. Like off the front of the boat, just a little headlight on his head, and just like buss. It's actually amazing. How early did you start doing
it? I've probably been teenage years, I reckon, 13, 14. So just learning off like my dad, my uncles, just going out with them, you know.
You'd rather that than flicking?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that real traditional? Is that or is it not? Is it something you just like to do?
No, it's definitely traditional. It's passed down through, obviously generation to generation, freehand spearing. But for me, it was just more a cultural thing, but a hobby. So, like, growing up, just, hunting and fishing was just, like, daily,
No, well, I've figured that out. But who's better out of you and Daniel? Or is he just getting kissed on the dick because he's...
He'd be the best off land,
Really?
Probably not on the boat.
No, not on the boat. Off land's like, obviously, fishing from the sand. And shit like that. But so you reckon he's better at going through the mangroves and Darwin and fishing? And
I reckon.
Who's better at crabbing?
Probably same.
Damn.
Me on the boat, him on land.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
They've got a good thing going on the Gold Coast. Don't split them up.
I don't like that. I'm trying to split this shit up. I'm trying to split it up.
Dimmer messaging you and it'll be on.
All right. You got these three players currently your teammates. Actually, we'll do... Yeah, fuck it. We'll do these three teammates. You got to trade one. You got to... You got to trade one. You got to cut one. And like cutting from the AFL, and you got to extend one.
From what?
I'm about to give you the names. So Mally Roses Sauce.
Mally Roses.
Joel Jeffrey, Daniel Rioli. Trade one, cut one, extend one. Malcolm Rosas, Joel Jeffrey, or Daniel Rioli.
For cut
out of the AFL. Hey, you're going back home, bro. They're all going back to Darwin.
I got to go Daniel, I reckon.
Yeah, so cutting Daniel. So, yeah, mate, how many premierships has he got?
Yeah, he's got 3 premierships, so
someone else
he can retire, I reckon.
So who are you trading? You got to trade him to West Coast.
I'll probably trade Jolie.
Oh, shit, you extended Mally.
Nah, I got to keep Mally,
Yeah, I like Mally.
Look after him in the forward line, so we're brothers down there.
I thought Joel Jeffrey was a forward line player.
Question, Rob.
Oh, well, you know what? Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I thought that'd be funny because they're all Darwin boys and they're all funny as fuck. Yeah. Who's a bigger celebrity when you go back to Darwin? Is it out of you three? Out of you 4?
Oh, it's probably Joel, I reckon.
Yeah, it's crazy. Joel. You know Joel Jeffrey?
Yeah, I know.
He's a big dog back home.
Yeah, he's a big dog now.
Now, this is from one of your best mates, and we love to have a charge up with this bloke. He's the funniest. He's going good over in Perth at the moment. This is Brandon Parfitt. I said to him, broski, hope you're well. Interviewing Longy on potty tomorrow. Got anything funny on him? He just sent me a fucking list. And I can't even use this. Like, I won't even be able to use half of it. I was like, no, do you have anything funny on the bloke? So I'll bleep it out when I say this stuff, so I don't have to answer all of it. He goes, where do you start? He's a tight ass. He's going bald. Good fisherman. Loves cereal for dessert. Cereal for dessert? What's up with that? I do it too, though.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a good little snack.
What's your go? Is it Captain
Crunch?
Crunch?
Could be Cocoa Pops.
Okay, so it's the Aussie brands. It's not actually...
Yeah, but that's sugar before.
You heard it first, everyone. Ben Long's secret weapon to improving this year is Cocoa Pops for dessert.
That's the headline.
That's what it is.
No,
now he's having a deal with Cocoa Pops. He's laughing.
We could try and take that up.
Could be Wheat Bix sometimes.
Yeah, I eat 6 Wheat Bix before bed, and the missus just like, why the fuck do you do that? I'm like, no, it's good. You give, I have a big feed for dinner. Yeah. Then I have cereal before bed. I'm not hungry. I'm not snacking or nothing. I'm just I wake up. Yeah, good to go. So you're a bit of a tight ass?
Nah.
Yes, you are. In America, you were.
Nah, no way.
Yes, you were, man.
Lost my wallet.
I will be in there. Now, what's life post-football for Ben Long? What's it look like? Are you going straight back home? You're going to go back there and do some community work? You're going to go home and just fucking retire, happy man, save all your money, sell your houses? Whatever's going on. What's life post-footy for you?
I haven't really locked it down, to be honest. I hopefully one day eventually move up to Darwin, raise a family or whatever. I guess if we get a good job down in Goldie, I'll stay, but, haven't really looked too far ahead.
Bro, you need plan B. Come on. Yeah. You need plan B.
I've sort of got some things locked in line that I like, but, yeah.
You're going to go back to Darwin? You want to, eventually go back there?
Eventually, but, I love it on the coast here, so... hopefully be living down here for a while.
And if you weren't playing AFL, and so you went to a very prestigious school in Melbourne, what would you be doing if you weren't playing AFL? Like, what does the life of Ben Long look like?
Growing up as a kid, I didn't mind becoming a marine biologist.
Oh, mate.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's actually pays good money.
Either that or don't mind the fireys as well.
Cane corns.
Couple of things, or bigger picture be like, similar to what Matt Wright does or something like that.
Oh,
fishing and
you want to go to jail?
Yeah.
Nice,
yeah.
bro.
Or, no, not
Tampering with
Yeah,
helicopters.
You want to do a bit of that, bro?
Not tampering with helicopters.
That's
not flying. I
nice.
wouldn't fly a helicopter. Maybe just driving boats.
Shout out to Lele about that. He loves that
I can
bloke.
see Longy doing that job.
So you played both for St Kilda and the Gold Coast Suns. Like, what's the difference in like one club being in Melbourne, like being a pretty well known club, and then coming to the Queensland where you kind of like no one gives a shit in Queensland about AFL. Yeah. What's it like the different lifestyles coming from there to here?
Yeah, I guess it's the obvious ones are the weather and all that stuff, but I guess being Melbourne is just footy central, you know.
Always.
So I've noticed since I've been up here, I've noticed that no one really knew about Gold Coast, Suns. Some do, but it's more rugby culture up here. So
is it like is it better life balance? Like you go to footy, you train fucking hard.
Yep.
As soon as you leave footy, it's like okay.
Yeah,
just living life.
Yeah, you can. I definitely feel that, like the stress-free sort of stuff when you lock in at training and you get your work. You get to work, but when you're outside of footy, you're more just relaxing and you get more time to take your mind off things. I
think that was like a good thing about Queensland that I enjoyed as well, was you could go out, have a hell of a time, and you don't have people breathing down the back of your neck, photos, videos. It's something that is really appealing about Queensland. Do you feel the same about that, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Was that a reason too for you coming up here?
I guess it was more.
Getting out of the bubble.
I guess it was part of the reason. I guess getting out of Victoria, new opportunity, and I never really knew what it was like up here. I've obviously visited the coast, but to be living here, really know the difference.
Who's the funniest teammate at? We'll do the first one. Who's the funniest teammate at the Gold Coast Suns? And then who was the funniest? I know who it was at St Kilda, but who's the funniest there too?
Oh, I've got to say Will Powell.
Will Powell.
Yeah, he's a funny lad.
Wow.
He's good.
What's funny about him?
I guess just the way he is, and
he's a good looking bloke.
Change room banter. It goes around. A lot of the boys, get into each other. But yeah, I'll probably say Will Powell.
Has he got a bit of banter? Like, does he play? Anyone play pranks down there or nah? Like,
yeah, the boys do. Fuck with each other sometimes. Yeah.
We went through a phase when we were like everyone was egging each other's houses and fucking around with that kind of stuff. Anything like that going down there?
Oh, probably not that extreme, but maybe moving cars or
love that.
Just like locker stuff.
Yeah.
Locker stuff is
and we can't even talk about what locker stuff on here means.
Nah.
It's locker stuff.
Yeah, locker stuff.
Who was the funniest at St Kilda?
Yeah, obvious one, Bradley Hill.
B-Rad Hill.
Or for me, annoying, but
but you're like best friend, like you love that guy, so it's like one of those things. What's one lesson the AFL has taught you that you carry with you every day? This is for the kids out there.
Well, I think the main one is to work hard. Once you get to the, you go through the stages of playing senior footy and getting to the AFL level, it's like you got to earn your spot and sort of head down.
Bro.
Bum up sort of thing, so you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not willing to work hard, get you nowhere.
All right, that is Ben Long, one of the most improved players in the AFL in 2025. These motherfuckers are going to play finals this year. I'm getting a tattoo of his signature if they win a final. I'm excited to see how he finishes out the rest of his career, and especially in 2025. I'm excited for these boys. Like, I'm on the Suns bandwagon.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming on, Longy. Congratulations on your season so far. Hopefully, good form stays ahead, and who knows what happens. You might have a jacket for your first time and some success at the Suns. And he'll be a part of history. So
he's in jacket contention.
He certainly is.
If we keep sucking him off in the media, like if we keep pumping him up,
it is media driven. So
it is media driven.
He's got us on his
best
side.
player ever in the Long family.
Thanks for coming on,
NT
mate.
hero, 16 years old, playing seniors, dominating. Do you win a game?
No, missed.
Didn't even win a premiership. I put the Buffaloes on my back and put them in the finals. Who gives a fuck?
Epic.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.